Hello! In this video, we'll explore concurrency and parallelism in Rust through a hands-on approach. By the end, you'll have a solid understanding of these important concepts. Let's start with the basics. What exactly are concurrency and parallelism? Concurrency deals with multiple tasks running in the same time window. Tasks can start, run, and complete in overlapping time periods, but don't necessarily run simultaneously. Think of a single chef juggling multiple cooking steps, chopping vegetables, stirring a sauce, and checking the oven, switching between them quickly. Parallelism, on the other hand, is about running multiple tasks at exactly the same time. This requires hardware with multiple execution units, such as multiple CPU cores. Picture several chefs cooking different dishes at different stoves, all working simultaneously. Rust provides powerful tools for both concurrency and parallelism, with strong safety guarantees to prevent common errors. Let's explore these concepts with real code examples. We'll begin by creating a new application using the cargo new command. Our main file will be our playground for experimenting with different concurrency patterns. First, let's look at OS threads using Rust's standard library thread module. OS threads allows the operating system to schedule tasks that can potentially run in parallel on different CPU cores. Sharing data between threads requires care to avoid data races, and Rust's ownership system helps prevent these issues. Here's a basic example using OS threads. We'll start by setting up an empty vector called handles to store our thread handles. Then we'll spawn 3 threads using thread spawn. The move keyword here is important. It captures variables from the environment by value, transferring ownership to each thread. Inside each thread, we'll print some messages to show what's happening. We'll also add a thread sleep call to simulate doing some actual work and make the execution timing more visible. Each thread will return a value at the end, and we'll push the handle for that thread into our handles vector. Outside of the thread spawning loop, we'll print a message saying that all threads have been spawned. Finally, we'll use the join method on each handle to ensure all threads complete before our main function exits. For simplicity, we'll just unwrap the result without proper error handling. Let's run this example with cargo run. We need to add the thread import at the top of our file first. Now we're in business. As you can see, the tasks ran in parallel. Task 0 started and finished relatively quickly, while tasks 1 and 2 started around the same time and finished later before all threads completed. The timing between these 3 threads wasn't perfectly synchronized, which is expected when running things concurrently. The operating system decides when and where to schedule the different threads. While OS threads are useful, they can be complex to manage. Let's move on to a more powerful approach, async await with the Tokio runtime, which is considered the gold standard for asynchronous programming in Rust. What makes async await special? It allows for concurrency without necessarily spinning up multiple operating system threads, though it can when needed. Tasks can pause at await points, such as waiting for the network I/O, and an async runtime, like Tokio, manages these tasks, running other tasks while one is paused. This approach is very efficient for I/O-bound workloads. To get started with Tokio, we need to add it to our project by running cargo add Tokio with the full feature set. In our code, we need to add an attribute macro at the top, Tokio main, which allows us to write an async main function. This attribute tells the compiler how to compile our code with Tokio. Again, we'll create an empty vector for handles, similar to our threads example. Then we'll spawn 3 async tasks onto the Tokio runtime using Tokio spawn. The async move keyword creates an async block that captures its environment. It looks something like let handle equals Tokio spawn async move. Notice how similar this is to our thread example earlier. That's intentional. Tokio maintains familiar ergonomics, so it's easy to switch between different concurrency models. Inside each task, we'll use Tokio sleep instead of thread sleep. The key difference is that Tokio sleep is async aware. It yields control back to the runtime instead of blocking the entire thread. This allows Tokio to efficiently manage multiple tasks, running other code while one task is waiting. Each task will return a value, I times 3 in our example, and we'll push the handle into our handles vector. We'll also add a print statement outside the loop to track our progress. To wait for all tasks to finish, we'll await each join handle in the handles vector. Each await returns a result, which we'll just unwrap for simplicity, since error handling isn't our focus right now. Let's run this example and compare it to our basic threads approach. Since our function is async, we need to make sure our main function is also marked as async, and we need the Tokio main attribute macro on it. Running cargo run, we encounter a couple of issues. We need to make our main function async and fix a typo. The special attribute macro on our main function serves as the entry point to the entire application. With those fixes, everything runs smoothly. As expected, all 3 async tasks start and then appear to finish sequentially. This is pretty cool. We're achieving concurrency without necessarily using multiple OS threads, and Tokio is handling all the complex scheduling for us. Let's wrap up with one last example that demonstrates what's often called fearless concurrency in Rust. The Rust compiler prevents data races at compile time using the ownership and borrowing rules, along with 2 special traits, send and sync. The send trait means that a type can be safely moved to another thread. The sync trait means that a type is safe to share references across multiple threads. Let's see these concepts in action with an example. First, let's try to share data that isn't safe across threads. We should expect a compiler error. For this, we'll import a couple more types from the standard library arc and rc. RC stands for reference counted pointer and is not send or sync because its reference counting is not atomic, making it unsafe for threads. Let's create an example that will produce a compiler error. We'll set up a vector of handles and create an RC to share. Then we'll try to spawn threads that access this RC using the same pattern as before. Running our code produces an expected error. The compiler tells us we cannot send an RC between threads safely. Now let's fix this with the proper solution. We'll use arc instead, which stands for Atomically Reference Counted Pointer. Arc is both send and sync, assuming the data it contains is also send and sync, because its reference counting is atomic, making it thread safe. Arc clone creates a new pointer to the same data and atomically increments the reference count. Using our consistent thread spawning pattern, we can now safely print the shared data from multiple threads. We can read immutably from multiple threads without any issues. If we needed to mutate the data, we would typically use something like arc with the mutex or arc with an RW lock, which provides safe mutable access across threads. When we run this example, we can see that multiple threads successfully have access to that shared data without any data races or undefined behavior, all checked at compile time. This demonstrates one of Rust's greatest strengths. It ensures thread safety at compile time through its type system, preventing entire classes of concurrency bugs before your program even runs. If you'd like to support the channel, consider starting a free trial of our new design tool, which is linked in the description, and let us know what you think. We'll include all code in the description as well. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section and we'll do our best to respond. Thank you very much for watching to the end, and please enjoy responsibly.